My childhood Pokemon collection. Hello everyone, this is Tony, and I want to show you some vintage cards from 1998 to around maybe the black and white era. So in here is an old binder. As you can tell, I've done many collections of like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Digimon, but of course in the end, settled on these Pokemon cards. They're really faded out here, this tag. So let's go ahead and show you guys. Alright, so in here, I've got the original starters, I've got Bulbasaur line, Charmander, Squirtle. I've got a story about this guy that I'll tell you in a few moments. So this isn't really a completed set because, I don't know, I was never really able to get a lot of the cards when I was a kid. Again, I was a kid and I only had so much money. But, here it is now. I'm wondering, since I'm older now and I've got actual income, maybe I should make a series of where I go and collect vintage cards here in Japan and just collect them. So you're probably wondering why there's a lot of Japanese cards. So when I was a kid, I actually lived in Japan on an American military base. So I had access to, American cards and Japanese cards. So I'd like to say I've got like really good vintage cards. Like I know this is a very popular Gengar. I don't know if it's not first edition, but it's something. So it's quite incomplete, but I'm quite happy with. There's a lot of cards here that I'm glad I got, and more other cards that I wish I had. This one goes to around Generation 5. I'll show you guys in a second, but yeah, I mean, every now and then, I traded cards, so cards I used to have, I don't have anymore, and then, yeah, I mean, and who knew 29 years later, Pokemon cards would still be a thing. But yeah, here are my Generation 2 cards. Actually, this is probably one of my favorite cards. I pulled this, I'm really happy that I did, and I'm glad I kept it. I mean, every now and then I've gotten some cards where I wanted it, like this Wobbuffet. I actually bought that here, and so I'm glad I got that. Speaking of that Charizard, I was about to say that this card right here used to be from Neo Destiny, from Crossing the Ruins. So, back in the 2023 World Championships, I believe, I was looking for this specific Charizard. This Charizard I always wanted as a kid, but unfortunately I never had it. And so when I went there, they had this area where people were trading, selling cards, and I found a guy who was willing to trade this card. And so he looked through my binder, and then he pointed at the Umbreon that was here. And so I was like, not knowing how valuable that card was, I traded away. And then, of course, it wasn't until this past year that I found out, yeah, that was quite valuable. I mean, I'm happy that I've got this card now, but, oh no, my Umbreon, it's gone. Oh well, but maybe one day I'll find that card again, but I've looked it up. It's quite expensive now. But yeah, moving on. So, yeah, I also got this one like about 2 years ago. I'm really happy I got that. It was only like $5, 800 yen, whatever the USD conversion for that is. But yeah, Gen 2 is probably less complete than Gen 1. I think my most valuable cards would be the Tyranitar here and this Lugia. It's not first edition, but I feel like this is worth a lot, I guess. Around Generation 3 is where I started to fall off because, you get older, you're in middle school, and so I've got a lot of blank spaces here for Generation 3. And then we have Generation 4 here. Now, at this point, I think this is around the time where I moved back to the States, and the only cards available were obviously only in English. So Gen 4 here is a bit of a dry spell. And of course, I get over to here. Gen 5 is sort of where it begins and ends after just a few. Yeah. And then, of course, I've got Big Keldeo card. And found out recently, as I look closer at this, this is very fake. Very, very fake. Yeah. I mean, the material was... I had no idea this was fake. I know this is from something else, but I kept this as a reminder. But yeah. So this has been my childhood collection. So hope you guys enjoyed that. I also have different collections of my current binders and also singles. Let me know if you guys want to see that. That way I can make videos of that if you guys are interested. And yeah, this is my first time doing a long form video and I quite enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoyed it too. So if you are new to this channel, just I upload shorts every single day. So if you want to see more of me, go ahead and check those out. But until then, thanks for watching.